Hey, what's going on? Welcome to my channel. I'm Shaun Ritter. Here you're going to find tips and tricks of a family-focused dad with limited time and limited space, and how I overcome those challenges to enjoy my favorite outdoor hobbies. So if you like fishing, hunting, camping, and wish you could figure out how to get outside and enjoy the outdoors more, or for the first time, I'm here for you. And hit that subscribe button, and make sure to check the bell notification so you can be sure you don't miss an episode every Thursday when they drop.
Here's your shot.
Holy fish, bud.
I'm Shaun Ritter. I love the outdoors, hunting, fishing. I work a hectic, not traditional job, and I love being a dad. This is my outdoor journey and how I manage my time. I'm here to help you rethink your time and join me, Return to Wild. So we are up bright and early, hitting the road. I'm gonna head on out and listen for some gobblers this morning. I don't know if you caught the previous video I was talking about, my 5 tips on things to do before going out for turkey season. One of them was scouting after your e-scouting. So I'll give you the full scenario of what today is. So I got up this morning, I'm obviously headed out to go do some scouting for some turkey. This property that I'm gonna be walking and checking out and listening for gobblers also has a lake on it. I'm gonna do some fishing. Limited on time today. My wife has got something scheduled this morning, kind of like a brunch lunch thing with some friends. So I gotta be home at a fairly early time. So I'm up bright and early to head on out and gonna scout and fish together. Since I don't have all day, I gotta try and find a way to pinch them together. And that's one of those tips that I'll give you if you're someone with limited time to get out and enjoy outdoor hobbies and outdoor passions. If you have multiple, try and find ways where you can do both at the same time, so to speak. I don't know if you've ever heard of the whole cast and blast thing. That's, hunting and fishing together. Or, there's camping and you can fish while you camp, or you can hike somewhere and fish a little bit and hike out, and just finding ways to put multiple hobbies together. That way you can kind of get the best of everything you like in a short amount of time. I'm gonna finish driving and get to the area that I'm headed to. We will see you there. All right, y'all, so we made it. We're out overlooking a kind of ag field area. This is one of the spots that I mentioned when I was talking about tips that I got. There's hardwoods around me, there's ag field, and then there's water just in the back corner here over my shoulder. That's the kind of little lake that we're gonna head to. I'm gonna walk this tree line and kind of sit for a bit. Haven't heard anything yet since we rolled up, but the geese started getting up, so I'm willing to bet kind of the back corner there might be a spot. We'll see. Cranes. I think I just heard a gobble. It was like off that way. Which is exactly where I thought they might be. It was definitely a gobble. Alright, we're gonna creep up that way and see what we can find. Hoo! 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 Alright, we're gonna work our way towards a high spot. It was in that back corner. I thought I heard. What God was that? I think we're gonna sit on this high spot and just see what we see or hear. Geese are talkative today. So there's field area behind me. I'm up on a high spot looking right down. I mean, it's a pretty good hill down into the hardwoods here. So it's almost like this blind is built for me. I'm gonna set up here for a while, kind of watch down into the hardwoods here. And then obviously if anything comes up behind, or, in this ag behind me, I'll be able to catch it and see it from here. But I think watching down into the hardwoods to see if they're coming up is gonna be key. One tip of advice when it's 36 degrees outside, remember gloves. I don't know why I forgot them, but I forgot the gloves. I didn't know how much, where I'd be getting into as well, if I was going to get close into water and stuff, so I decided to put on the old waders instead of, boots and pants and stuff, and with the frost and the dew and as wet as it is, I am glad that I made that decision this morning. Tell you where I live, mornings do not sound like this. And that's why to me, any morning out to just sit, smell the smell, and hear this, worth the price of admission. Hoo, hoo, hoo! Hoo, 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 hoo! Gobble that way? Yeah. Well, that's a dang good sign. That's all I'm out here for today. I'm not hunting. My tags are in next week, but I wanted to scout it and make sure that there's still turkeys in this area, being that I'm hunting public land. You know, that some of the birds I knew might have been around someone in the previous weeks, seasons didn't spook them out. So, all right, so definitely have got the gobbler going bonkers. He's right over this way, and I was just looking at my Onyx maps. I'm pretty positive he's still on the public land. There's quite a few little etches in here private around it, but I'm pretty sure he's still on public. I'm gonna hang tight here because I think this field behind me is what he's gonna work, and I might play and see if we can't get in to get a good picture of him. Another thing, when you're out in the woods and you come across some trash like this soda can, I always keep in my bag roll of dog poop bags, essentially. Of course, it's always best to not litter in the first place, but if you find someone else's litter, a poop bag, works good. Pick it up, neat and clean. We'll pack this out and drop it in the trash on the way out. Sometimes it is work. We've walked miles, we're crossing mucky, muddy creek stuff. That's what I find so fun about it. Like, put a little work, it all makes it worth it in the end. And you get to the destination. Oh, so on the map, this lake looks fairly accessible. It's not that far of a walk. But even on X, like the underbrush doesn't show as thick as it is, and some of the marshy, swampy stuff that's in and around this little lake. But I think finally we've crossed through some of the worst stuff, and we're just about there. It's time to shed a layer pretty quick here too. It was cold, like I said, 36 when I got here this morning. Now, sun's coming up. I think it's supposed to be like 60 something today. It's getting a little warm. All right, we have finally made it to the lake. There's actually a river that runs in, so right here I'm kind of actually on the river, and it runs behind me is actually the main lake. So we just wanted to at least get to the river, and then we can walk the river's edge here and get up to the lake. And I realized the sun in the screen, probably not good. My bad. This is tough, y'all. Trying to basically stand and balance and use cattail rays to keep it from sinking. Whew. I don't know we're gonna make it to this main lake because it is quite a trek, but it's shallow but fishable water right here. So it's like 3 feet deep across this little river that runs in. So I think I'm gonna first shed a layer. I'm trying to keep things as dry as possible. When I talked about that travel rod thing, comes in handy. There we got it. Let's see, Okuma Syrinx. Pretty awesome rod. Taking this thing all over the world. And the fact that it packs right into luggage is pretty sweet. Alright, we're just gonna start throwing a little buzz bait back here. Alright, I don't think that's gonna work out, so we're gonna move on. But the challenge is going to be how to get back to secure land, because look what we got across. Like all this. Here's what I found moving across this stuff is if you can utilize the patches of grass, and there's usually some roots along next to them, that if you can kind of pull yourself with them, find a stump. Otherwise this stuff is just, I mean, it's like quicksand. You step in the wrong direction and you're going straight down. Like I'm doing right now. Foot is sinking. Whew. Okay, better than I thought. All right, we got this, I think. Whew. Did it, y'all. Oh, it is hot. So glad that I shed the couple layers I did. Made it to another field that was downhill even farther from where I was set up this morning. And I think the woods over here, directly behind me, I think this might be where that gobbler was really ripping for a while this morning. It just kind of seems like the exact direction it's coming from. So I don't know if he's roosted up some of these trees back here or what, but I'm gonna look around, see if there's signs of feathers, and then hopefully we can get the truck, take a little ride, and do a little more fishing before we gotta head home. Don't forget too, while you're hiking around, to keep your eyes peeled for some morels. Spot some deadfalls, take a look around. This springtime is perfect. In fact, right now here in Wisconsin, I know they're popping up big time. So just a little reminder, wherever you are, depends where. I know sometimes starts earlier, sometimes starts later, but hillsides, deadfalls, always good spots to find them. Well, we made it out of the woods. All in all, I would say successful morning. Heard Tom really working it a couple fields over. Heard a couple of bangs off the distance. 2 or 3 birds must have been taken somewhere off. So there's definitely birds in the area. If there are people hunting some of those other fields today and, you know, into early next week, maybe they'll push them out and they'll work their way over here. I mean, there's obviously a lot of great turkey habitat. There's turkeys in the area. So I'm feeling pretty good about our chances next week, at least to give it a shot to see what we can do. So yeah, we're gonna try and see if we can find some fish real quick yet before we gotta head home. That was quite the hike, straight uphill. All right, back in the vehicle. Hey, funny story, in an old hunting jacket, found an old pair of my sunglasses. Look at that. Literally, they've been, I thought, missing for 5 years. Turns out there was like some hidden pocket inside it. I don't know how it got there. Isn't that crazy how sometimes things find their ways into spots that you're just like, what the heck? Anyway, enough rambling. I think I'm gonna scrap the fishing portion of the morning. Roughly was planning to, but there's a lot of areas that I haven't got a chance to explore in the area that I am. for access. So I'm instead going to pivot, and again, I'm still doing 2 for 1. You know, I went out, I scouted for turkeys, and now I'm still utilizing my time towards, you know, the end goal of outdoors related activities. And I'm gonna scout a couple different areas that I might be able to do some fishing at in the future. Something coming on the channel that, well, I'm gonna leave it there. There's gonna be something coming very soon that is going to allow me to do a lot more fishing and get you a lot really, really cool fishing content right here on the channel. So y'all just stay tuned. Find a spot to fish, maybe we'll stop for a bit. All right, so let's review a couple of things that we figured out this week. First off, we found turkeys in the area. That was step 1. We tried a little fishing. Sorry that the battery died. You think I'd have this figured out by now. Probably the biggest thing that stands out to me is that it wasn't as easy as it looked to get to the water. And plans change. Sometimes that's something you're gonna run into when you're in the outdoors. You know, things don't always go exactly as you planned. I was looking at the map and I thought, boy, I can get through here, I can get to it. And when I actually got out there, it was way more difficult than I thought. So had to pivot and try something else. And that's a huge lesson that you could take in anything you do. Not just outdoors, but anything in life. You have to be able to pivot and adjust to the current situations that you have. So instead of fishing, took the time also while I was out and drove around and scouted other areas of the public land, plus looked for other places that I could have access to water for something in the future. So all in all, I would say the 4 hours that we spent, we accomplished a lot. There was a lot of stuff that I was able to get done and get accomplished in that short amount of time. And that's, again, what it's all about. When you're a person that has a limited time schedule, you know, you've got limited space, all these sorts of constraints and restrictions that as a dad that lives in the city has, it's all about trying to make the most of your time. And when you can double up, triple up, or quadruple up time spent in the outdoors to accomplish everything towards that one general goal, you're doing something right and you're succeeding. So going forward, where does that leave us? Well, next week, we're gonna continue and hopefully wrap up this whole spring turkey theme as I'm bagging my first tom with a bow. Then we're gonna hit the water hard. In fact, remember that little thing that I hinted at a couple of minutes ago? Why don't you go ahead and drop a comment with a guess as to what you think I was talking about? I might even surprise one of you with something cool. I'll have details about all that coming to the channel really soon. And don't forget, if you like this channel and wanna support it, all it takes is giving this video a like, dropping a comment, and sharing with friends and family you think might enjoy it too. None of that costs anything. I appreciate you watching and look forward to sharing more with you next Thursday. I hope you have a fun and successful week, and we'll talk with you then.